Glad to have you join us on this segment of Engendered. And if you're just joining us, you're right on time because the show is just about to begin. And as usual, you know, Engendered is a show where we discuss and analyze all issues that involves the female gender. We're not selfish, but it's just what we're paid to do on the show. So, and I don't do it alone. Pamela is here with me. And today we have an interesting... I'm already saying interesting in advance because
I can't wait.
I'm telling you, we have an interesting guest in the studio today, and he's not our gender. He's a guy
on the show.
Yeah, exactly. So don't always feel like we don't give you guys the opportunity to come and express your views. We still give you guys the opportunity, but it's still our topic and we discuss what we want to discuss. Okay. And most of the time I've discovered that men that come on the show, they actually do things to our favor. Right?
No,
and they say
I won't go with that. I feel they
really?
say the truth.
Yeah, so the truth, but it's what we've been saying things that is actually the truth though.
Yeah.
So today we're going to be discussing a sensitive topic, because I'm saying sensitive because I think that topic is actually the terms are being misplaced. We're going to be discussing dating versus courtship, because we've noticed that everybody now says, I'm dating this guy, I'm dating this guy. Nobody knows when they get to the stage of courtship. Some people say, I'm courting. We are courting, meanwhile they are dating. Some people are dating, meanwhile they are courting. So it's like, we need to understand, like, we don't really understand what we're actually doing. So we're going to be analyzing this. I've heard people say things like, there are privileges that people that are courting should have, that people that are still dating are having, and it should not be. So where should we draw the line? And today we're going to be doing this topic. We brought a male gender so that it's not look like we women are demanding for too much. So he will tell us the difference between dating and courtship. And his name is David King Etienam. And he's a marriage and premarital coach. You're welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You guys should not trip too much. I know we've got
I will say compliment on the show. Like when I saw him earlier, I was like, wow, you look too young without the beards. I can see.
And he told us, you can't
fine.
tell you guys. Like, he looks too young. Look, guys, he looks too young.
Please don't trip too much.
Yes, are you married?
Yes, I am.
I would have shut my shoulder at this point now. I reserve my comments. Let me mind my business and stay in my lane. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
So today we're going to be discussing dating and courtship. So I chose this topic because I think we're at that stage where most of us, we don't really understand what we are doing. People don't know what exactly is dating. Personally, let me share an experience.
Yeah.
There was a guy that when I was 7, me in my head I wasn't dating him, but in his head he was dating me. And I was like, after I just stopped talking to him, and he was like, I miss you when we were dating. I'm like, did we ever date?
Yeah.
He said, what did you think dating was? We are at that point where I like you, but we did not get committed. We're not serious. So for him, he felt like we were dating. In my head, I'm like, we were not dating. For me, I did not date you. So if I'm counting, say people have dated him, I'm not going to count you, but he's counting me. Do you understand? So for him, he was like, dating is a stage where he gets to know somebody.
Yeah.
Some people say no. Some people feel like courtship is when we've gotten to the point where we are about getting married, then we are courting. Please, you are our coach on the show. Let us know the difference. What is dating? What is courtship?
Okay. Thank you for having me once again.
Yeah,
You're
you're
welcome.
welcome.
Dating versus courtship.
Courtship.
Let me share this scenario.
Okay.
It's quite common. We see it on the internet every day, where maybe a guy is in the mall and then he goes down on his knees, brings out a ring and presents it to the lady, and the lady is like, you're embarrassing me. What's going on? In some cases we've seen where there's been some physical attack, you know, and all of that. Now, all of those kind of things happen because there's a misconception, just like you rightly said. People don't know how to place dating and courtship. Now, of course, there are levels of relationship, and people just jump into it anyhow without any sense of understanding what they are doing. And they leave the other person in assumption. The person assumes, just like you said, you know, you were dating a guy and the guy was already seeing marriage, and at some point was like, okay. In fact, you said that you didn't even know you were dating.
I didn't know.
You were just friends.
Exactly.
So dating actually is, I see it as the second stage in a relationship.
Okay.
The first stage for me is acquaintance. Where you get to meet someone. It could be in a vehicle, it could be at your workplace, someone just introduced you to someone and you've gotten to meet that person for the first time. That person is simply an acquaintance. And then you move from there into dating. Dating is where you're saying, okay, we are just hanging out. We are just friends. And a lot of times, in fact, I like using this term to explain dating as a relationship with no strings attached. And so it's just friendship. And you have situations where people who are dating, in fact, I usually would tell people, I said, when you are dating, feel free, you can carry your friend along if you are going for lunch or dinner, because there's no strings attached. But the person shouldn't be, maybe you want to go out on a date with a friend, a guy or a lady. I mean, the person should not be surprised that you came along with someone, because it's just dating. You're just getting to have fun. That's just it, as friends. Whereas courtship, you are beginning to say, this person has something that I think I like. I'm comfortable with this person. Can I go a little bit deeper to see if this person would suit me in the area of marriage? So courtship now has some level of intentionality, looking towards marriage, whereas dating is just friends. That's the simple definition.
So we'll be using it wrong.
So, like, how long do dating last? Is there, if there's any time limit to it, then how long can courtship last?
Okay. Now, just like I said, dating, you're just getting to find out, is this person likable? So I would say until you've found out if the person is likable or not. Now, at times it doesn't necessarily have to last too long, because many people, especially during the dating stage, no strings attached. I mean, so there's no, a lot of us have our guards down. So unless someone who got into that relationship intentionally, if I may use this word, permit me, with the mindset of a hunter.
Wow. Okay.
So from day one, this person knew that this is why I'm getting close to this person. And so when they are going there, they already have that in mind. Otherwise, everyone's guard is down because we just met and we are just friends, nothing, no strings attached. So we can begin to display certain things that would make the other person say, oh, I like this person, or I don't like this person at all. I mean, it could just be one day, and after one day, you're like, that's no-go area. Let me look for another direction. This person, I mean, we just cannot be friends, for starters. You know, that's dating. And it really doesn't have any time frame. Some people actually date for months into years and all of that. You're saying, let me just see it go. Although I would tell people, I said, it was Bishop Oyedepo who made this statement. He said, you're just there drinking Coke, and before you know it, someone will just come and carry. So at times, people spend too much time on trying to just find out about someone. But then courtship, like you said, okay, again, not really a time limit, but since it's a deeper form of relationship, it will require a little bit of time to really get to know people. And so maybe 6 months, maybe 1 year, maybe more, but it shouldn't also go overboard with regards to duration, because, I mean, we don't have all the time in the world.
With the definition you gave dating,
yes,
that means one person can go ahead dating more than one person.
Oh, yes.
Wow. Wow.
So I can literally say I'm dating 5 people.
It's dating.
Wow.
That's what it is. No strings
attached.
Oh,
So what do we now say to the people that attach strings to it? Because now we see that there are some people that say, I'm dating this person and they're already getting so intimate. I'm dating you, we're already giving you some of them are already cohabiting and stuff like that. So what do we say about people like that?
In fact, the generic term in our context, in our area, like Nigeria, for instance, boyfriend and girlfriend. And the moment that happens, you belong to me.
Exactly.
No.
Possessive.
Absolutely not. Dating is dating. It's just a time to have fun. I like using that word fun. And that's why also I said that while you are dating someone, you are at liberty to even carry someone along. Only that, okay, maybe if the person is inviting you for dinner or for lunch and somebody has to pay, if the other person is not aware that a third party is coming, they may feel like, oh, this person is trying to intrude into my space and all of that. And otherwise, you can have a third party along. It's just a time to get to know each other and have fun.
Okay, I think you mentioned something in one of your posts. I think you said for you, dating is when you still get to know who is suitable for you or not. So at that point of dating, how do I now know that this particular person is suitable for me?
Okay. I usually tell people that everybody has what they like and what they don't like. Now, what I like about you is what will gradually get me closer to you. What I don't like about you is what pushes me away from you. So the moment you begin to see this person as likable, it means there's some level of connection between the two. There's something you like about the person, first and foremost. You like being around the person, you like gisting with the person, you like talking with the person, and all of that. So that is what we look out for in dating, that likability, if I may use that word, likability. Now, that is talking about suitability now. Suitability is a term I like using when we are getting even into courtship. Because it's a deeper term used. You want to find out, is this person suitable for me in the area of marriage? Dating, like I said, is just liking. When you just like someone and you like that person's environment, that person's aura has something that you like, you just have fun, hang around together.
Okay. So how do you know that a dating has moved to courtship?
Like I said, dating is all about identifying if this person is likable.
Okay.
You're not discussing anything in the direction of marriage. You're not sharing anything. And maybe I should also mention this. When you begin courtship, it's also not proof or a conclusive place that we are headed towards marriage.
Marriage, okay.
It's just a deeper level from dating. You are saying, I want to get to know this person. Now, a lot of times when we talk about courtship, it's deeper in the sense, now this is beyond dating. So it's courtship. There is some intentionality. I'm saying, I like this lady. Let me see if she can connect with me to the point where we can get married. So at that point, there's intention. And while we're looking at that, we also get into the place where we tell other people that this is what is going on. For instance, parents. We let our parents know
You go public.
at that point that, oh, this is the girl I'm in a relationship with.
Okay. That's
Hoping that it could lead in the direction of marriage. But we're trying to get to know ourselves a little bit deeper from just casual friendship. In some cases, people also inform their pastor, who has some spiritual oversight over them. Some let their close friends know. It serves as also, now, if you were seeing so many girls, for instance, if it's me, the guy, who is dating and then moved into courtship, I'm also letting my friends know that, okay, I'm a little bit focused now. I'm not just throwing my net. I'm trying to use a fishing hook. More intentional now in this particular direction.
Okay, Gino, you've really defined this courtship and dating. But now, and those things are theory, all these things you just said. If you go into the real world,
Yes.
these practical things are not happening this way. Like you see people, they are dating. Because I have to ask you if one person can date several
multiple
people.
people.
Now, the bad thing is, they go intimate and they don't know how to draw or go out of it anymore, which is the wrong ideology they're having about dating.
Yes.
What is your take on it, or what can you tell the world about this, me not practicing the right thing?
Well, of course, it starts with getting the right knowledge. Because if we don't have that knowledge, that information, it doesn't help us to even know how to go about it.
Sorry to cut you short.
Yes, please.
Some people have this knowledge, but not even if you go ahead to practice, people will be like, you are old school. We don't do it this way anymore. You have to, especially the male gender. Like, you have to knock this girl. Sorry for using that language. You have to hit this girl. You have to do this. If not, you are not even a man.
Yes.
So people bring you down because you are doing the right thing.
Yes.
Is that bad in this society?
I know. Okay, maybe at this point I should say this.
Okay.
I usually would tell singles, when you get into a relationship, go in there with your brain intact.
Okay.
A lot of people miss it. So they have those butterflies in their stomach, and a lot of them also find themselves in a place where the moment they get into a relationship with someone, it's like everything goes on autopilot.
Exactly.
They lose control. They don't know when to put on the brakes.
Love is blind.
They don't know when to say no.
No.
Some people feel like if I say no, I'm going to hurt his feelings.
Exactly.
I'm going to hurt her feelings.
Or I lose him.
Okay, I'm going to say something now. It's a little bit, it's going to sound harsh to some people, but this is the absolute truth about it. It might be painful too for some. I usually would tell people too, I say, if you have to walk away on your wedding day, after you've been dressed in your wedding gown or wedding suit, please do. It sounds harsh. It sounds painful.
But it's the truth, yeah.
But it's the truth. Because you see, it's like when I see all those people, when somebody kneels down in those public places to propose, and then you hear people around saying, say yes now, say yes now. And I'm like, do you know what that means? When I got married to my wife, when we finished the wedding, everybody looked at me and said, what? Bye-bye. They left me in the matter. They left her in the matter. If we were going to mess up, we are held accountable. We can't begin to say, you advised me to come into this. No. They say he who wears the shoe knows where it pinches. So it is solely your responsibility. Even me, as counselors, people meet me every time, either online or face-to-face, and we talk about their issues. I never tell any person what to do. I share the facts. I present it before you. But the decision is yours to make.
Okay, so I actually saw a post that you did, and I think you were trying to be controversial about guys kneeling down to propose to a lady. You were saying that you feel they are being either manipulated or something to answer.
Yes.
But some people find it cute. They'd be like, because I've heard some people, okay, even in our parents of today, when they see picture, they're like, your dad did not kneel down to propose to me. And you hear ladies like tell their friends, he proposed. They're like, how did he do it? Did he kneel down? And so everybody now, the trend now is you have to go on one knee and then propose. So they're not seeing it as being manipulated. They feel it's the guy is cute, he's respectful or something, like he can go all the way for me. So why is there a problem with it?
During courtship, you are getting to know each other.
Okay.
On a deeper level now. You are not just casual friends. If I'm truly courting you, I should know your likes, the things you like. I should also sense when you are ready for me to even propose to you. Okay. Some people are not ready, either emotionally, in different ways. If I'm gisting with you and I notice that your full attention is in your academics, that's not going to be a right time to propose without being sure that you are ready. If you are ready, I gist with you. I share certain things with you. I could find some videos online and I share it with you because you're my friend. We are in courtship. And then I watch for your response and I see how you take it. And if you watch that video and you go, oh, then I know that, oh, that's the kind of thing you like. And then if you watch that video and you're like, what's this now? I beg, what is all this? I know that is a no-go area. So there are ways to find out if this route you want to take is what this person likes, first and foremost. And then secondly, if they are ready. Because you don't want to take them by surprise. You don't want to present a lady with a ring when she's seeing herself probably getting married in the next 1 year, in the next 2 years, in the next 3 years. Or in fact, the thought is not even crossing her mind, like you said. You're just in a relationship, but that guy thinks that, this is happening. Like some of those proposals you see. And the lady's like, you're embarrassing me and all of that. I mean, that shouldn't happen if both of them are actually in a relationship.
Yeah.
Okay, but some people now tell me now, like, for example, if a guy kneels down to propose to a lady and she says no, everybody's like, she was rude, she should have just collected the ring and at least just save the guy some shame and embarrassment and just walk away with it.
That was where I was even headed.
I'm opposed to that. Okay. And the reason I'm opposed to that is because the drama behind the scenes is unnecessary.
So you prefer you just say no, get the disrespect and everything go?
He's the one that looked for it now, so let him. They say the way you make your bed is the way you lie on it.
Okay, how did you propose to your wife?
To my wife, we were watching a movie at Silverbell. And in my chair, I brought out the ring.
Wow.
I said, sweetheart, will you marry me?
Wow.
And she looked at me, all smiles and beaming. I knew she was going to say yes because we were in a relationship already. And she said yes. And I put the ring on, and that was it.
No drama, no planning,
no drama. No the person behind us, beside us, watching movie in the theater, did not know what was going on.
But these days, they go as far as taking a drone.
Like, there's something you said earlier. People need to actually know who they are courting.
Exactly.
Because a friend of mine came to me that I want to propose to my girl. Like, what will I do? And I told him that it's not like what will you do should be your question. What does your girl like? Beautiful. Does she like it publicly? Like, does she like that public attention? Does she like is she the indoor type or something? That's what you watch out for. Maybe they've been in that relationship, but he has never paid attention to these things. So he has to go back and start checking. So he was using funny ways to, like funny conversations to just get it out of her. And he came out and he came back to me and was like, she prefers it indoors. Like the way she sounded, let's just do a parlor thing.
Yes.
And that was how we did a parlor thing, and she was so happy about it. So I feel men, women, if you are courting, if you are into somebody and you know you want to get married, know yourself, know what each other like, know what your guy likes. Your guy should know what you like. I don't know.
You know what you're saying now, it boils down to communication.
Yeah.
Now let's ask you this question: what are the effective ways to communicate in a relationship? Because everything you're saying now, it just boils down to the fact that these people don't communicate, or one person is communicating, the other person is not listening. So how can we now? I'm not in a relationship. When I get into a relationship, how can I communicate with my partner properly so that we can?
How can we?
Okay, people, you in a
relationship. How can we communicate in a relationship? Chidinma, ask this question direct.
Okay, I mean, so how can we communicate? We communicate in a relationship properly and effectively so that everybody can be heard and it's not one-sided.
Okay, properly, I will try. Effectively. That is very deep.
Okay.
Yes. When we talk about effective communication, there's this understanding that communication is not achieved until understanding is shared.
Okay.
Yeah. I could talk for an hour, and by the time I'm done, you didn't get a thing I said.
Absolutely.
Because so many things may be involved.
Yeah.
There are certain things in communication that we fail to look at. For instance, now, if I'm trying to communicate with my wife when she's going through her period, that's almost like the wrongest time. She's with me, but she's disconnected because 1,001 things are happening in her body at the same time. If somebody is hungry and you're trying to communicate, like they say, a hungry man is what?
An angry man.
Mm-hmm. You are even, they are like, can this person just... So everything you are saying, so there are certain things to watch out for to ensure that communication is actually happening. That's why I'm telling you that effective is very deep. But at this level where I want us to really get this and understand, when you are courting, remember I said earlier that get into every relationship with your brain intact. Now, there are a lot of questions you want to know about this person. There are a lot of things you want to observe and see. So that parlance, local parlance that we use around here where we say, shine your eyes. You are going to be shining your eyes to watch for things you can see. You are also going to be paying attention to things you can't see through actions. For instance, I usually would tell people, I say, when you're in a relationship, watch out for how this person treats other people. Very important. How they treat others is how they will, I didn't say may, I say will
definitely
eventually treat you. Because you see, in every relationship, especially when it gets into marriage, not necessarily marriage, in fact, before it gets into marriage, we find that there's something we call see finish.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. And it happens when you've gotten yourself to a point where it's like, there's almost nothing to offer, or there's nothing more to look out for. I know this person inside out and everything, and all of that. When see finish, not if, when it happens, you will realize that everything about this person will not make any sense or make any meaning to you. So, and they will treat you even worse. That's why I say, watch how they treat others. If they shout at the bike man or the driver, the cab driver, or the waiter in the restaurant who is delaying and all of that, your own shout is coming.
It's coming. It
Sooner
might be delayed,
later.
but it's not be denied.
So watch out for those things. Ask questions. Talk to the person. What do you like? What don't you like? At times, raise issues. Some of these issues that used to cause fight on social media, raise it. And you see, because think about it, for instance. Let's take football, for instance. There are some people that can kill for football. The moment anybody begins to attack their club, you are like an enemy.
Or politics.
Or politics. So these are certain things. Throw in and see. Let me check this guy's anger level. You say, I've been dating this guy for 6 months. I've never seen him angry. You've not triggered the anger. Every human being gets angry. The question is, what am I angry at? So if you watch these things, you ask questions. At times, the questions that they don't give you the answers, go look for it. Go look for it. Somebody say, how do I look for it? Chat, gist with their friends. You're not going to seek or as if you are going to investigate. Just gist and all of that. And before you know it, especially if the friend is, pardon me, no offense meant, is sanguine. Because sanguines like to talk too much. And they won't know when they start entering secrets. So if you find someone who is a sanguine around that person, engage them. And before you know it, they will be telling you certain things. You know, there are ways to find out. Talk to them. I usually I told one sister one time, I said, this guy you're dating, I said, look for someone's Facebook account and go stir up something on a post that he dropped and see how he reacts on Facebook. So there are ways. I tell people, I said, be unapologetic when you are trying to find someone out. It's a deeper level of relationship. And if you are trying to, you don't need to go insulting the person. You don't need to push too much. But this is someone you want to get into a relationship with. Absolutely. That may end up for life. You don't want to make a mistake or blunder. So you will do all you can to get the necessary information that you need to get.
Okay, talking about what you see the person doing to others will also affect you. I've seen a scenario, I've seen a situation where the man does eye service. Outside, if once he comes out of his house, he's smiling with the neighbors, he's smiling with everybody. But once he comes in, his face is as, I don't know what used to trigger his anger inside the house. Now what I'm trying to say is, nobody will believe you outside that this man does not smile with his people inside.
Yes.
That's another level, because I saw you saying, well, how he treats people outside, but I've seen this situation, he treats people outside very well, but inside the house, he does not.
That is one. Now, okay, when I say what for how he treats people, now that doesn't mean that that will always be the avenue for which you will use to get to know this person. That is just one of it. But a lot of people fail, even from that angle. So for this kind of person who probably knows how to masquerade or to hide his true self. Now, I usually would tell people, don't rush into a lifelong commitment. Marriage is like a marathon. You take your time.
Yeah.
That's why when I see people who just get into a relationship and after 3 weeks, 1 month, 2 months and all of that, they already talk about marriage. Calm down. Take it easy. At times, some people, that's why I don't like, there's this general saying, even though it's the truth, but don't let it put you under pressure. So you hear people saying things like, women, they don't have all the time in the world. So the moment you begin to get over over 25 into 30s and all of that, try to see how you can, get married and all of that. There's a lot of truth in that statement, actually. But still don't put yourself under pressure. Because if you put yourself under pressure, at the end of the day, you're not going to say, it's this thing that this person said that made me make this decision. No, at the end of the day, you have to take responsibility for your choices. So take your time. Don't be in a hurry. You are looking out for something. And until you have what I call conviction. Conviction. Now, your convictions may be flawed, may not be perfect, but at least have that conviction. Don't get into it and then you're having doubts. You're having questions in your heart. You're unsettled. And just because you've dated this person for so long, just because your parents know the person, in some cases, I usually tell people, I said, even if along the line, the two of you, got intimate, and then the lady got pregnant, that is still not enough grounds
to get married.
You may have made a mistake, something could have gone wrong, a baby's on the way, the baby's not the mistake happened. Welcome the baby, life continues, but to live under the same roof with this guy or with this lady, no. Because that word again, suitability, is absent.
Okay, so now in this kind of situation, there was a time I told someone that I was explaining to some people, I said, I feel when someone gets you pregnant, or if you get a lady pregnant, it's not compulsory for you to get married to her. It doesn't mean that she's your wife. You can, but you can just take care of the child, take care of the person, then you guys can still marry different people.
Yes.
Now, what do we do in a case where our African parents will tell you, once you're pregnant, who got you pregnant? Oh yeah, let's go to his house. By force marriage has happened. People that find themselves in that kind of situation, what can they do about it? If they keep insisting, because this happened to somebody, she was sharing her story on a platform and she said she got pregnant for him. It was just a one-night stand and it happened. But now her parents are forcing her to go and get married to this guy. What can she do to opt out of this kind of situation?
The solution may not sound conventional. Also, pardon the use of my language, I would use the term rebel.
Okay.
Yes. And rebel doesn't mean carry a placard and say, we no go agree, we no go agree. It doesn't mean insulting your elders, insulting daddy, insulting mommy and all of that. Okay. There's something I call the sale, or rather marketing in marriage. it happens actually in every form of relationship.
Okay.
If I want to sell you this phone, I will be looking for that point of connection where your need connects with the product. And that's why a lot of people make it well in marketing.
Okay.
That's why some people sell better than some other people. You have an establishment, you have several marketers. This person, anytime she goes out or he goes out, they're always coming back with a deal. And this other person is struggling, almost not landing something. There's a skill in selling. There's a skill in marketing. So some people don't know how to activate this skill. It's what will enable you to be able to convince someone through dialogue, through discussion, not through anger, not through offense, not through fighting, just mere words. So not everybody are good in it. So they just, I will not marry him. Or it doesn't matter what you say. And then daddy and mommy, they are looking at you. Is it me you're talking to? In their mind, they are like, they are ready. Mommy says, if you don't marry, I will swear for you. I will curse you. And you see, all of those things are unnecessary. If you can just know how to communicate with mommy as mommy and get to connect with her heart and with her emotions so that she can see that this thing is beyond now. There's a future. Look for instances of people who are going through those kind of situations and say, mommy, it's not just about marrying. No, see this person, see this person, see this person. Is that what you want for me in future? I don't even love this guy. I don't even like this guy. This is what happened. Or maybe this person was pretending. Now, see certain things that I know about this person. Why I don't think it would be nice for us to marry. You're just looking at one thing. You want to disgrace the family. But it's more than that. You want me to not disgrace the family and then go in somewhere and lose my life? Or something. So there are ways to communicate and to get parents, family to see that this area, well, this has happened and all of that, but okay, let's see how we can go on without forcing you. But like I said, I use that word again, rebel. But like I said, not the rebelling of carrying placard and fighting and all of that, but try to see how you can market the situation to win people in your favor.
Okay, let's talk about pastors and prophets. yes, we have to. I want to get your opinion on that. Who talk people into saying, this man is your man, this woman is your woman, and you see them going into a relationship just because a pastor has prophesied that this man is your man. And why I ask this question is, somebody took a lady's picture. So the man has been taking this girl's picture to different prayer house. And they've been saying, like, 3 people said the woman is your woman. 2 other people said this woman is not your woman. Now confusion is everywhere. He's just there stuck. He does not know what to do. So I don't know. The role pastors and prophets play in this marriage thing is also very, very important. I want to get your opinion on that.
Sorry, let me add to this. You know, before you even talk about pastors and prophets, when I was 7, I shared this experience that somebody came to me. He came to my house. We were just friends from school. Then coincidentally, we served at the same place. So he then came to my house to visit me. He used to stay on my street and stuff. So I would just cook and give them food. So when he came to my house that day, I think someone called him on phone. I think it was his dad. Next thing I heard was, yes, her name is Chidinma, her name is Miracle. And I was just listening. He said, yes, sir, yes, sir. He said, okay, sir, yes, sir. And I was like, what is my name doing in your conversation? And he was like, that was my dad. That he told me to send a list of the ladies in my life right now.
Wahala.
And that he went to a prayer house. I don't know the kind of spiritual place he went to. And they said, I am the one for him. I did not leave the Holy Spirit to inform me that I am not the one for him. So there are some people that have been cajoled into this particular, people that are naive. They'll just tell them this and they just believe it. Yeah. So what do we do about that?
Well, I'm a Christian, so I'm going to speak from that perspective.
Okay.
Yes. If I have a counterfeit or fake 500 naira note in my pocket, it's proof that there is somewhere an original 500 naira note. Is it possible for me to have a counterfeit 2,000 naira note now? No. Because there is no original. Beautiful. So I usually would tell people, I say, wherever there is a counterfeit is also proof that there is
Real, original.
Original. I always would tell people also, don't throw, like they say, don't throw the baby with the bathwater. So this area is not one I'm always very comfortable talking about. But of course, because of our viewers out there, and the reality is that some people are going through a lot when it has to do with this. I always have this to say. When you get into a relationship, take responsibility for your choice. Take responsibility for your decisions and for your actions. Now, not even God forces us to do anything. He created man as a free moral agent so that man could make use of his power of choice to make decisions. God doesn't even decide for us. Now, am I saying that it is not possible for someone to say, oh, this is what I picked up in the realm of the spirit, and it is actually true? There are a lot of those instances. Yeah. But at the end of the day, you're not going to say, Shebi, you say, na God, talk. What is happening? So I usually would tell people, I said, if God spoke to the prophet or to the pastor, is that an exclusive preserve of the pastor? How about you? Can't God talk to you?
Talk to you, Derek, exactly.
Because God talks in different ways.
When he spoke to Mary, he spoke to Joseph.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, there are a lot of things that make the spiritual look mysterious, but it's not really mysterious. God speaks to us in different ways, through dreams, through visions, in fact, through the word, at times, through just intuition.
True.
You just have that conviction in you that this is it, this is God.
Yeah.
So there are different ways. Now, somebody say, how does God talk to people? Different ways. But you see, do you have a relationship with the God that we're talking about? If you have a relationship with him, then you get to understand him. I mean, take for instance now, if your mom calls and you picked up the phone, even if she called with another person's number,
exactly,
you hear your mom's voice and you know that is mommy. You don't say, hello, who is speaking? You heard mommy's voice. You started hearing it from when you came out of the womb. So that is also the thing. I tell people, I say, if you're in a relationship with God, you get to know how he speaks to you. And even when he uses someone to say, oh, this is it, there should be some form of confirmation.
Confirming.
It shouldn't be a monopoly, you know. So that's it.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, I think at this point we don't have time again, and we are actually rounding up. So, but as we round up now, I want to ask you this question: where can we draw the line between sacrifice and compromise? It always comes into a lot of relationship, and people will say, like, for example, in dating and courtship, people still have that issue. Do we start sacrificing or compromising in our relationships just because we feel like we should do so? I love this person, I should. You said that when we go into a relationship, we should use our brain. But then some people tell you that if you go in with your brain, meaning there are sometimes that you have to use your emotions to do some sacrifices for the person. That they usually say use your head.
Yes.
Now, some people say if they want to use their head in the relationship, meaning they will not allow love to thrive in their relationship. So how do we now draw the line of, okay, at this point, I should use my head. At this point, I should not use my head. At this point, I should sacrifice. At this point, this is a compromise I should not do. So how do we know what's the difference between that? Just as we round up now.
Yes. When I talk about using your brain, I'm actually talking about singles.
Okay.
When you are
not married
not
people.
married people.
Oh, right.
Married people, there's a flip side of that coin.
Oh, okay.
Because a married person wakes up in the morning and his brain is doing like this. School fees, house rent, this one, that one, you know. There's a lot of tension in so many homes because emotions are dead. So I'm not talking about married people now.
Okay.
For married people, try to flip that coin around and connect more to your emotions, to your heart than to your brain.
Okay.
But for singles, you need your brain. Yes, so your decision, whatever it is you're going to make, the steps you're going to take, ensure that your brain is intact. Yes, there's a place for sacrifice. Sacrifice is saying, I want to do this. I'm not expecting anything in return. In fact, even if it doesn't work, that's why it's sacrifice. You're willing to let go. You're willing to give it up. But before we get to the place of sacrifice, we're going to a place where we are saying, truth be told, every person in my premarital sessions, when I ask singles, why did you decide to marry this person? Why did you decide to marry this person? What you always hear is, he loves me, he treats me right, she does this, she does this. Every time it is geared towards what the other person is doing for us. Them, yeah. And that's because by nature, we are all selfish.
Yes, true.
By nature.
Yes, everybody's selfish.
So, and it's allowed. Yes. You see, somebody might say I'm quoting it out of context, but you see, if you don't know how to love yourself, how do you share that love with another person? So a lot of people don't even know how to love themselves for starters. So love yourself. Pay attention to yourself. And even when you get into a relationship, give. But give and what? Because you see, there's giving and receiving. And if you are the only person giving, there's a problem. Step back and say, what's going on? Why am I the only person? Exactly, parasitic. Relationship is meant to be symbiotic.
Exactly.
I give and I benefit from it. So there's a lot to watch for you to know the level of what you put in and all of that.
Okay, thank you very much. You know, we've just been quiet, and it reminds me of our church service. When a pastor is preaching, I'm like, he's like, why is everybody quiet? Like, it's sinking. Like, it's sinking, we're receiving it. So thank you. I think we'll have another episode. We'll have to talk about different topics, because I've just gotten to realize that when we're talking about relationship, it's very broad. We can never exhaust it in one episode. So thank you so much for sharing your insight with us. We hope that you will pick our call when you call you next time. All right, viewers, thank you so much. That is where we will call it a wrap on today's episode of Engendered. So please, we have learnt. I don't even know what to say, because I learnt a lot of things. But whatever you picked out of these, please practice it. Is the right thing to do. That's why we'll call it a wrap on today's episode of Engendered. To do well to join us next time for an interesting episode. I remain Chidinma Ufomadu.
Let me say my highlights before we go. If you don't love yourself, like our guest said, there's no way you can show love to other people.
Exactly.
And he also said another thing: take responsibility for your choices in your relationship. I am Pamela Ajaero. Bye.
Bye.